mainly just want to hang out. I also wanted to shamelessly plug a meetup that's happening at my work tomorrow. If you are interested in Golang at all, Go is releasing their 1.6 release of the language, and so every major city is celebrating it somehow. And my work is sponsoring the Seattle group. Uh-oh.
Hey Danny, sorry that crapped out.
Oh, I wasn't sure if it was your end or my end, so I'm like, I don't know what's going on with
No.
my computer right now, so I'm looking through all my processes to see if I should kill something or everything.
Yeah, no, it's definitely mine. The internet around here, when it's fast, it's really, really fast, and whenever it's not fast, it's very flaky. And sometimes both.
Gotcha. Anyways, I don't know how much of
Um,
that you heard, but I was basically just saying that I was partially here to shamelessly plug my own meetup group.
oh, you have your own meetup group. Well, then I will
Well, it's not,
shamelessly try to get you to join my meetup group instead.
well, it's not mine directly. My work is hosting it, so it's really easy for me to go as a result because it'll just happen right there.
Yeah.
Um, but it's the Seattle Go programmers.
Oh
Um,
man, I've been meaning to learn Go. I'm doing a lot with Ethereum right now, and their main client is written in Go.
oh, really? So you should
Yeah.
definitely come in.
I don't live in Seattle anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, what?
I'll be back.
Really? Where are
Yeah,
you?
I'm in Arizona.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a long story, which maybe the viewers of this cast, I think I have a few audience members on live coding watching, but they'll get to hear my life story anyway and this catch up. So I moved to Tucson to be with my sister, who was pregnant and she was buying a house, and
Gotcha.
that was several months ago. And after that, I just decided to stick around because it's really sunny here. It's pretty gray and depressing in Seattle, so I've heard, or so I remember from 10 years living there. And even though I miss it a lot and I'm going to be back next week and we should totally hang out, I was stuck and I needed to break myself out of, you know, being in Seattle for so long.
Sure.
And it's mostly great. It's a little lonely, but if anything, I keep more in touch with my Seattle friends now because I don't live there. Everything feels special. But,
Totally. It's funny how
yeah.
that works. Kind of like for some people to get closer to their parents when they leave.
Yeah, I have recently thought a lot about my parents, and I visited my childhood home, and it was not comfortable. And what they say, like you can't go home again, I think that's pretty healthy. There's a there's a Netflix documentary called Jiro Dreams of Sushi. I don't know if you know it.
I've been meaning to.
It's so
It's on my
good.
queue.
You should bump it to the front. It's so good. It's about business, but it's about Jiro, who has been a sushi chef for 50 years, and he's still 84. And he still wakes up every morning for sushi. Um, and he says like you should refuse to let your children come back home ever, because then they'll be failures. They won't ever learn how to make it on their own.
Oh,
It's pretty
that's
pretty harsh, but
totally. I mean, he's probably making a larger. I mean, I get his larger point. He probably doesn't mean that very literally, but
no, he doesn't mean it literally. He also was kicked out of his parents' house when he was 7 for
oh,
whatever
really?
reason.
What?
Yeah, it sounded pretty bleak. Like at the age of 7, he had to like work this like be a grocery bagger or something, or work in a restaurant, and that's how he got started in the sushi business because he had nowhere else to go.
Man, man, yeah. I'll
Anyway,
pump it up on my queue.
um, Hey,
Man, we gotta fix your internet situation.
yeah, sorry, the internet is totally wonky here. I have to remove all these networks because there are like 3 different networks.
Yikes.
Yeah, I do not know why it keeps doing it.
This isn't the first time you've done this, though, right? Has it always been like this?
No, it's not been like this before. Yeah, I'm definitely running a lot right now. I am broadcasting on Hangout, and I'm streaming to livecoding.tv.
Oh, livecoding.tv.
Yeah. Do I have your email address?
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe I can get it off of Slack.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Also, you should have it from this Hangout, I'm thinking.
No, I can't see the addresses on this Hangout. You have to give it to me explicitly.
Oh. All right. Let me send that to you.
I can hear someone in the background.
Oh, I just opened up live coding TV. I think I'm listening to someone else. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Let's pause that.
Yeah, you're definitely going to cause yourself a lot of network traffic by watching live coding TV while being on Hangout. Like me, but in the opposite direction. Okay, I'm going to send you a ScreenHero invite. If you feel like it, which I strongly encourage you to do, you can accept it and download the software, and then we can screen share, and you can type things, and they'll appear on my computer.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's how I mostly teach and program in a group with other people.
I found you on the live coding page.
Oh, cool. Yeah, although if we're on Hangout, it's kind of gratuitous.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I've never.
Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is have this sound recording button on my app. So I've done this before where you have a button and you press it and it records sound from the microphones. It records you saying some sound. In this case, I'm going to have people reading a word, and then I'm going to save the word and hopefully upload it somewhere, maybe Amazon S3. But the goal is to have many different recordings of people pronouncing words, and then you can hear the correct pronunciation, and then you can also have your own pronunciation graded, so people can give you feedback on how good your pronunciation was.
Cool.
Yeah, so before I got cut off, you're still working at Rakuten, right? Rakuten?
Yeah, been there for a little over a year now. Let's see. I'm in way too many stacks. It's Ruby on Rails / Angular / Golang / Node.
Oh God.
And then later I'll have to remember how to do Java, which is actually partially why I'm here, because I thought it'd be interesting just to look at Java again.
Yeah, for sure.
Although I have slightly different context in Android, but still.
Yeah, I mean, Java is Java. Android inherits a lot of verbosity out of Java. It's not always a good thing. Let's see, why is this showing?
Wait, so what did you say ScreenHero does for me?
So ScreenHero lets us share screens. So I can share my screen with you, and then you can control a mouse and a keyboard on my computer, which is pretty cool.
All right. All right, this is the group that Slack acquired.
Yeah, so actually ScreenHero, you cannot create a new account right now except if somebody invites you. So right now, this is the only way you can get a ScreenHero account. So in some sense, I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah. Downloading.
Yeah, so you're working at Rakuten, and they use Go and a bunch of other things.
Well, so the company is spread out into multiple subsidiaries. And so the one that I'm in just introduced Go, but other parts of the company have been using it for much longer. We're using it to implement a super simple CRUD microservice, but as we kind of develop more expertise on it, we'll expand the scope of that service. We're not doing anything too revolutionary right now, other than saving data to one table.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a little bit better.
But it's probably a pretty revolutionary table.
Revolutionary what?
Revolutionary table, the one that it writes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's going to overthrow the Chinese government.
Industry, for sure. All right, ScreenHero is downloaded. Cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about you recently. So the meetup group is usually like mostly beginners now, but I think at the beginning it attracted a lot of people who were sort of intermediate to advanced to like professional programmers.
Oh, Invisible College, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me.
And what? Yeah, no worries. And sort of coming up to our like 1 year anniversary soon, and I was wondering, yeah, maybe this is like normal ebb and flow of how meetups go, because I haven't run any other meetups.
Yeah, so I still see I still get the invitation via Meetup. Is it what's his
Slack.
name? Bill still taking
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. Bill is still there. He holds the meetups. Um, yeah, Bill's a great resource. He really enjoys it, and hopefully he'll keep doing it for a while. But he enjoys just being around other hackers, and he hosts it at Tazu, which is in Smith Tower sometimes, and then sometimes at Metrics Create Space, which is where we met.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually I went to one of the one or two of the Tazu meetups as well. That's a great space.
Yeah, the view is pretty awesome. But the reason why I was thinking of you is because I was applying to jobs recently, and I remember that your company was hiring a while back.
Yeah, we're always hiring. In fact, I'll be looking for 2 devs for my team soon.
You're hiring 2 devs for your team, you said?
Yeah, and actually the team that sits next to me is looking for some machine learning folks. So if you have any expertise in that.
In machine learning?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I am the expert, but I spent a summer internship doing it, and I enjoy learning about it, for sure. I'm going to need some of it for this Global Learning XPRIZE because we want to train a model, and we're collecting. So the main goal of the app is actually to collect this crowdsourced data from people. People are going to be reading sounds, and they're going to be tagged as correct or incorrect. And then we're going to be training a model based on that data to be able to classify future sounds.
Cool. Well, are we ready to see some code then?
Yeah.
Also, FYI, at some point I may have to abruptly leave as soon as my wife gets home, so I can
Sorry.
do husbandly things.
Eat dinner and things like that. I understand.
Yeah.
So I will share my screen with you, and then you can accept.
Cool.
And you should mute your microphone on ScreenHero, but not Hangout.
ScreenHero.
Yeah, it'll be on your own. It's confusing because you can see my screen now, but you should mute it when you're on ScreenHero.
I thought of that, yeah.
It's actually a weird existential dilemma.
Okay, so now I can move your mouse. That's already enabled?
You can move your own mouse. So you can see both of our mouse cursors on the screen now. Like mine is labeled Paul.
Your screen though.
Yeah, you are totally on my screen.
If I want to know what's going on your multi-bit hard drive, I can now do all that.
Yeah, that's my multi-bit HD. That's my Bitcoin wallet. Everything's locked down, so good luck with trying to spend it.
Oh,
yeah. So I can take us to. So you can do almost everything I can do except the 3-finger mouse gestures and some special stuff like that.
Sure.
Only I can do. Cool. So, have you worked with Android before?
Never.
That's all right. This new technique that I'm trying is mob programming. It lets multiple people program together on the same piece of code, and one person is the driver, and the driver doesn't have to think or know anything. The driver's only job is to type what people tell him to type and click what people tell him to click, and then we switch it out pretty frequently. So our first goal is to get it to compile and load. So if you go to main activity, that's the main unit of an Android app. So everything is localized into activities, which basically correspond to screens. They're like a unit of interaction. And it's red right now because of the compilation errors. Yeah, that one right there.
Okay. How come I can't select it?
Are you clicking?
Yeah, I clicked it a couple of times.
Okay. Well, I just clicked it. But,
okay.
Cool. So we can go through this code, but the Android apps still follow the model view controller paradigm. And the view is the view. It's an XML layout, which we'll see soon. This activity is the controller. And then there's other data, which we call the model, which we'll operate on later. But this is basically the code behind the layout. And this code is copied straight from the Google website, the Google Android website, which is pretty good, which creates buttons and then starts a media recorder and a media player. And these are classes to, as you might guess, record sound and then play it back.
Okay.
But on the right-hand side of the screen, there are a ton of red flags that show that it can't compile yet. So to start out with, let's click on, I'll turn on line numbers.
Wait, what did you say is the model in this case?
The model isn't shown here, but the model is data, and the data can either be saved locally through SQLite, or it can be saved on the cloud using Parse, for example.
Sure.
But we haven't seen examples of the model yet. We will soon, because we're going to need a model which is a sound, or sorry, a word, and then the sounds that people record in association with that word. And then that'll be our model, and then we can push that to the cloud where other people can download, Danny's pronunciation of some Vietnamese word. And do you speak Vietnamese?
Not in a respectable way.
Oh, you speak disrespectful Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still working on my English as well.
Great. I can actually ask you to pronounce some really hard word like anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Or otorhinolaryngology.
Oh, that's a good one. That might be about the same length. But if you click on line 16, there's a media recorder class, and it's red, which means there's an error. So maybe your click.
Oh, isn't it the class name is red, so there's an error there?
Yeah. But I'm wondering if your mouse clicking it's not working.
Well, I was able to select app earlier, so I don't know if you need to be completely stopped or something, or what the deal is.
Yeah, let me stop the screen share and start it again. Okay, so I can see your mouse.
Okay.
Kind of, I hope. Can you wiggle it around? There you go. Try clicking on media recorder. That's helpful. Nice. Okay. And if you press Alt Enter, that will give you options on how to fix that error.
Mm-hmm. Didn't like that.
Not quite.
Whoops, that's not what I want. But I'm glad it's picking up on something.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely want to join those two options again. All right, I think I'm going to stop the live coding broadcast because it's super slow. Sorry, live coding watchers.
So without the right clicking or the Alt Enter business, I would just assume that this hasn't been imported.
Yeah, that's right. But it looks like it's imported now. Actually, so it looks like it worked. Something you did work because now it's imported at the top.
Weird.
Cool, but now you can do the same thing with media player, which is on line 20.
And so media player isn't something accessible from the media recorder import.
It's a different class, so I don't think you need a different import for it.
Oh, there's only one, right. One class per file. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a way of importing .star, but then you still have to refer to them. Well, no, you may be able to import star, but it's considered bad practice because you could be importing a bunch of other stuff that you don't need.
Right. You could have namespace collisions that you're not aware of.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Can you try moving it quickly?
Can I try what? Oh, I saw the mouse. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to guess that I want to import Android media player.
Yeah, and you can accept the autocomplete. But it's actually much easier than that. If you click on a red class that's not imported and you press Alt-Enter, it will auto-import for you. Yeah, same with IO exception. So Alt-Enter. There you go. That works. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. Super easy. It actually makes you spoiled.
Man, I just need to stop using Sublime. I need to use a real IDE.
No, Sublime is great. Sublime had the first new release in almost a year.
That's right. I haven't actually fully. Whoops, that's not one. I haven't fully read through the changelog yet, so I don't know what benefits I have. Why is that not working?
I never read through the changelog because honestly, it worked fine the way it was. I just wanted to know that somebody cared about it and that it wasn't abandoned.
I think I paid for it once.
That's all. That's the correct number of times to pay or something.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, as opposed to like, so I had 2, and I switched to 3, and I assumed the license is per version. Then also I had different computers, like work, home, multiple homes. Not like I was donating extra money to them or felt that I should have.
Yeah, honestly, I think the license is per person. So you should be able to use Sublime version 2 and 3
on
any computer, because the license is tied to you to anything else.
Well, good to know.
So some things. Let's see.
More than one.
That's a tough one. Let's try the V7 widget. I have no reason for preferring one or the other.
Wait, did it actually do anything? It's still red.
Toolbar is fine. Snack bar isn't.
Oh.
There's another thing that's red, but that's because it's an ID that we haven't added yet.
Oh, I see. Okay. What's left? Activity sound. I don't resolve some activity sounds. That's another thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, we'll fix that in a minute. Don't worry about activity sound right now.
Cool. This is a class we got thrown in.
Yeah, floating action button we should be able to import. Except,
what?
Maybe not. Okay, skip that one too. Yeah, actually, why don't you go ahead and get rid of those lines, because we don't actually need the floating action button. Lines 139 through 146.
146.
Yeah. Let's get rid of all of it. Okay.
Oops.
So that's more manageable.
Okay.
The activity sound we can change to activity main.
What is the convention for different types of case?
Yeah, for IDs and layout names and resources in Android, it's snake case, which is underscore separating words.
But the functions are camel case?
And the functions are lower camel case, so the first letter is lowercase. The classes are upper camel case. And some people like to begin member variable names with M to show that they're member variables.
Oh.
And then constants are all uppercase.
Okay.
I think it's pretty standard.
This is normal. Yeah. All right, cool. So anyways, what did you say about activity sound?
Let's change it to activity main. So there's going to be an XML file with the name activity_main.xml. and that is
Main.
main is in M-A-N-E. There you go. Cool. And then toolbar we can add, let's see why. Right, I'm gonna check the original project, so sit tight here. There's a project I'm actually copying.
So the view is XML, man.
Yeah, which is regrettable, like extremely regrettable.
No, I spent so much time trying to avoid XML, but
So Android has done sort of a lot of things that I that I mildly resent to regret. Like they use Gradle for build, which is super slow, and they use XML for layout, which is like very verbose and
yeah.
not very pretty to look at. And then they use Java, which is almost unforgivable. But
Well, but apparently there's all these other languages that compile down to it now,
like Scala.
Oh, Scala too. Yeah. But they do weird things like sometimes 0 index and sometimes 1 index.
That isn't so. Good.
I would have done it myself, but I had a coworker who was working on a Scala service. Yeah, at some point I may have to learn how to use Hibernate plus I'm trying to remember the framework. Java things.
Yeah, Hibernate sounds. What is Hibernate?
I want to say that's the ORM, but that might be a lie.
Cool. I'll let you do this part, Danny. So here on the name of on line 8, that package, we should change robot hello to be glx. So the package should be college.invisible.glx, which stands for Global Learning XPRIZE. And then change that to main activity actually instead of sound activity.
Just select this. Or just an alt. Oh, there we go. Oh, nope. Delete.
And then go ahead and get rid of line 24. What's normally, so this is the layout, and what normally happens is it imports or includes sub-layouts inside of it. So it's just like an include statement. And that lets you modularize your layout in some way. But our layout is pretty simple, so
Nice.
we're not going to have that right now. And there's a pre-rendered version on the right-hand side of the screen. It's just not very interesting. Looks like there's an error also. Yeah,
Android coordination.
Okay. That's fine for now. Let's go back to main activity and get the red squiggles to go away. Oh, so the constructor should have the same name as the main activity. So there, it's further down on the screen. So line 125.
Oh, yeah. So just main activity.
Cool. And so if you look at the constructor, this is a file name on the external storage, so on your phone. There's a path, and then you can save a sound file name, and it uses this file extension 3GP, which I'm not really sure what codec that is. It's just some mobile-only sound format. And once you record your sound, it'll save it, and then it'll emit some log message using the Java logger.
Wait, where does it save?
The save hasn't happened yet. It's just it's creating a member variable called m file name. So this is the convention I told you before, where m indicates it's a member variable of the class. So you don't have to look for it in the local scope in the function, because if you scroll all the way up to the top, you'll see it's one of the member variables of this class.
Sure.
And then the onCreate method is a callback. So when your activity first is created, is instantiated, or even when it wakes up, then it runs this method. So the icicle is actually like the serialized save states. Whenever it goes to sleep, it bundles up the state and saves it to something on disk, and then whenever you open the activity again, it unbundles it or unserializes it.
How does it know to call the callback? Like, is it just because of the method signature, or are you invoking it somewhere?
It's the Android lifecycle, Android activity lifecycle, which I should draw out because there's not a good picture of it anywhere. But the cycle is first you call onCreate, and then things happen in your activity, but you can, when you pause it, for example, like when you switch away from the activity, it calls on pause, and then I think there's on sleep or on destroy, which is like whenever you just end the activity completely. And cool. So the lines 139 through 152 are examples of programmatically adding buttons to the layout, because when we looked at the layout before, it was just blank, right? There were no buttons on it. So you may be wondering, how are we going to click play and record? Well, that's because they're added programmatically here. And in typical Java layout fashion, it takes 20 lines, and you have to set all these parameters that should just be default. But you have to instantiate.
Sure.
Look at this, like 5 different classes, and you have to add one of them to the other. And I should stop being so disdainful about Android. It's not good. Whenever I teach my students to be so critical of the language we're using.
You can switch to a hybrid app.
Yeah, I've been looking into React Native, which I think might be slightly better.
Do you spend any time doing Angular?
No, so because I've thrown in my hat with React, I've meticulously avoided Angular because I don't want to learn anything more than I have to.
Gotcha.
And they seem not completely equivalent, but like React plus other things does what Angular would do for me.
Sure. Yeah. I just bring it up because they also have their own version of React Native, which I'm tinkering with right now.
Oh yeah, is it Ionic?
Yeah. And since Angular 2 is in beta, Ionic 2 is also in beta.
Yeah, I know Ionic has this push, like Ionic push, which is supposed to be pretty cool. And I'm wondering how to do the same thing with React. If it turns out they don't support it, that would be a major deal breaker for me.
I think they have some sort of GUI as well that you can play with to make React Native applications.
Yeah,
I don't know how stable it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Let's go play it. Let's see if this thing works. So let me start up the emulator. The built-in emulator is super slow, and so I use something called Genymotion, which is a lot faster.
Oh, the emulator itself is slow, not the build process.
Oh, the build process is also slow.
Oh, okay, but separately, the emulator is slow.
Yeah. Separately, all the pieces of Android are slow. The other reason why I thought about you is that so I was applying for jobs. I applied for Facebook, and I didn't pass my first phone screen, which was unfortunate. And I think it was mostly because of interpersonal skills and not because. So technically, I did great on the interview. I think I didn't make a good impression on the guy. But then I also applied to Google and Etsy. And and the reason why I thought of you is because in the past, like I had thought about applying for that position at your company. You said you were hiring, because I went through this like major period that I'm still going through, actually, of lack of self-confidence, where I just thought like I can't do a coding job anymore, and I'm slowly coming out of it. mostly due to lots of compassionate yelling from my sister, where she was telling me to,
yeah.
well, I don't know if Asian women are like that in your family, but the Asian women in my family are like all about tough love and are very critical. And
Totally.
so go ahead and click the play button at the top, and we're going to install and run the app on Genymotion, which is the end. And then choose that one and click OK. That's an already running emulator.
Meanwhile, while we're waiting for that to happen, I'm gonna review what's currently open at my company. We're kind of disparate in that we have, we're just made up of a lot of acquisitions and things. As a result, we have 1 million HR websites. And I learn about new divisions of our company all the time.
Isn't your company huge? Like in
yeah. And we just actually had our one of our industry conferences in Scottsdale, which makes me wonder if we have an Arizona campus in some form.
Yeah, it's actually really close to where I
am. Marketing. Okay, distractions. Sorry, I pressed play earlier, then away, and now
there are some layout errors which I'm fixing. By fixing, I mean getting rid of. Yeah, so I interviewed with Etsy, and that went well. So Etsy is like very hippie and friendly. They're not a very blame-heavy, aggressive culture. Like in Amazon, if you got paged or there's a bug with your website, everyone was quick to like show that it wasn't their fault because someone was going to take the blame and the person was going to get fired if it was a large amount of money. And yeah, it's very like regimented, hierarchical, and people brag about how overworked they are. And that there's this New York Times article about how Amazon is a terrible place to work and is emotionally abusive. Yeah. And people cry at their desks.
Yeah, I had HR there, so it was interesting to hear his take on some of that stuff.
Did they confirm
it? Yes and no. Obviously, some of it depends on your manager and your team. But outside of the things in the article, he had other things to share with the company. He got to do exit interviews with people who hated working with a big team. So he got unique insights across the company.
Yeah, actually, I'd love to hear. I mean, you're probably not allowed to say what he said, but.
Oh, I don't know if you went into that much more detail, but yeah. Wait, so hold on. Just while I had this in my head. So would this be ideally a thing where you could work from Arizona, or are you open to moving wherever?
I'm open to moving for wherever. The only reason I'm at Arizona is I was like lost in life and sick of Seattle, so I moved down here. It's now I'm at this pretty cool co-working space, which is where I am now, and oh yeah, you can still see me, I think, on the video, but the background is this co-working space that I'm in.
Okay. Yeah, because I was saying that I was looking at the different locations that we have available. I'm trying to see what would make sense for you.
Yeah, and I kind of like the idea of moving to New York. So Etsy is like a quirky, cool company where anyone can redeploy the company website in 15 minutes. And their interview question for me literally was like a take-home exam. They're like, take as long as you want, and it's more important for you to have fun with the problem than to stress out about it. And it's like completely the opposite of all these other big tech companies like Facebook and Google.
Well, New York is actually the technology hub for my part of the company.
Yeah.
Like my boss is in New York. Most of the technology team is in New York. So
Cool.
there's also a Boston campus, a San Mateo, San Francisco. You could also move to the UK if you want.
I think I would have liked that in a past life, like moving to a different country, and now I'm a little scared of it because, yeah, I wouldn't know anyone, and I would feel maybe a little bit isolated. Like when I've lived in the UK and Germany in the past, it was fun in the sense that it was someplace new, but I never really fit in there. I just like, kind of stood out.
Yeah, but you still have friends in New York?
Yeah, I have some friends in New York and friends in the Bay Area.
Would you say that you are skilled in either PHP, Ruby, Node, or Python?
I am very skilled in Python. I am learning Node, and I did learn Ruby and Rails in the past. I actually wouldn't mind learning more about Ruby. It seems like a beautiful language. It just fills the same niche in my brain as Python. And then I would say I did PHP in the distant past when it was like PHP 4 and PHP 5. And I resist learning more about it because I usually associate it with legacy web apps or WordPress or Facebook has written it. I guess I shouldn't be so down. I hear that PHP 7 and XHP and all these other improvements have made it much better than it used to be.
I just Google Hangout messaged you the my part of the company's HR webpage, and so this is a brand new job description. So
cool. Let me check it out.
So we're as I mentioned earlier, we're in a bunch of different stacks. We have a legacy application in Java that hopefully you can avoid, but that might be actually a plus for you as far as applying. But in general, we're mostly interpreted languages, so they hopefully won't really care whether it's Ruby, Python, Node, or whatever, which is why I think we've written them all out. We have a lot of PHP apps, though.
Well, you have a very pretty website. I like the font.
Rakuten Red.
Yeah, you have your own color name too.
I might have given it the name myself, but yeah, that red is everywhere.
I do love the idea that I get to learn Elasticsearch, and I don't know it already.
Yeah, that's that product I think is mostly maintained in New York.
Man, it's looking more and more like the universe is telling me to go to New York.
Yeah, it's a good bunch of people. Not as cool as the Seattle team, but
well, obviously not because you're not going to be there. But.
Yeah, I don't want to say it that way, but that's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's okay, Danny. It's fans know what fans mean.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm having all these problems. It's so
Oh yeah, what's
Android
going
is,
on?
yeah, Android is very SDK specific. So there are API specific. There's a different API level for every new release. Like 5.1 or 22 is the same as Android 5.1, which is Lollipop, and then 23 is the same as 6.0, which is Marshmallow. And there are some things that work on Lollipop that don't work on Marshmallow, and it's pretty brittle. It's like pretty easy to get it wrong.
It's unfortunate. They're fragmented both by their devices as well as their own IO or own OSs.
Yeah. Did not like
Where is this
relative
relative
layer.
layout thing being referenced?
It's here, so it's kind of the top level container. And yeah, so the weird part is that it is built into it's built into Android. So I'm gonna look at my build dependencies again. And try cleaning and then rebuilding. Yeah. Do you like being married? I know it's a very personal question, but Valentine's Day happened recently, so I find Vietnamese parents usually get off your case a lot more once you're married, because your answer to everything is like, "Sorry, I can't do what you want me to because I have a wife and my own family right now."
That's true.
And they totally understand that.
Sorry, I can't talk. Working on grandchildren.
That's sorry, I'm getting on right now. I won't bore you with the details, but it requires my attention. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're saying that
kids?
that thing is supposed to be part of the that's part of Android itself.
The
So
relative
is there
layout.
stuff?
Yeah, relative layout is one of the default layouts. It's like the default layout. But this bug about binary XML, that's more concerning because it seems like there's either a corrupt jar file or I should just switch to all STK23 and not worry about this. I have to ask you to stop typing.
1, 2.
Oh wow, you can scroll at the same time as me. That's freaky. Okay. Stop doing it.
No, I'm not touching it.
What, seriously? I don't have, no, it must be 23.02. How many people show up to your Go Lang meetups?
This is the first time we've hosted.
Oh, okay.
Also the first time I will have attended, so who knows? We have 40 people respond, which means probably 10 people will show up.
That's still a pretty good response. Yeah.
Yeah. We have someone paying for food. Amazon is actually paying for food.
Whoa.
Hopefully it leads to people.
Yeah.
Let me check that right now.
Who do you talk to at Amazon to get them to sponsor food?
We didn't directly talk to them. We're not even technically we weren't originally the event organizers, but they were being so unresponsive on the meetup page that we were like, we're just gonna commandeer this event. So meetup just as a member, they just let you just modify things. So we inserted our address as a location, and then people started talking to us about things. This guy via the message board was like, hey, I talked to my boss about paying for food. I work for Amazon.
Yeah.
I can't find the name though. And this other guy's gonna do a slide deck. We're not real Golang developers, so it'll be interesting to see who shows up. Because I'm assuming actual developers will show up.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, on the internet, no one knows that you're a dog, so you can get all kinds of people to show up if you advertise a certain thing.
It's true. That's true. I actually ordered a life-size Golang gopher to be our welcoming decoration.
It's the size of a real life gopher.
Well, I guess life-size, that's the wrong word. I got a huge cardboard stand-up of a gopher. It's 4 feet tall. So wow. I don't think there's any real 4 feet tall gophers.
No, that would be terrifying. Okay,
I don't understand. So if this is built into Android, is there some sort of like, is it just assume that you always have access to it, or do you still need to import something?
No, I mean, you should always have access to it. Yeah, very puzzling.
I'm going to resort to the Stack Overflow.
I'm going to create a new activity. I'm going to see about this. I'm going to get you activity.
So is that like auto-generated? Oh, never mind. You're doing it.
Is what generated?
That tag. I don't know what the right terminology is in XML.
The closing tag.
Android.design widget whatever.
Yeah, that is auto-generated by the new activity wizard. Yeah. But I think you can drag and drop an app bar and a toolbar. So Android has these various bars, which you can have at the top or the bottom of the screen. The one at the top of the screen is usually called an app bar at the very top, and then the one at the bottom is called a snack bar. They're very cute with their names. So all the releases are named after desserts and baked goods. And then notifications inside are called like toasts or snack bars.
Gotcha.
It's very adorable.
I thought for a second maybe we had named it wrong, but
Oh wait, okay, so it worked.
okay. So what was the issue? What exactly changed it?
So I copied and pasted. So this is the common source of errors in Android Studio, where if you copy something generated in a slightly different version of Android Studio, then it won't work in your Android Studio, just because of the wizard. So when the wizard auto-generates code, it will do something slightly different, and it'll be a non-portable change. So if you copy and paste something generated in like Android 1.5, and you actually have Android 1.5.1, you'll get all these weird errors like we got. And as far as I can tell, all I changed was copying and pasting this open tag for relative layout with different attributes. And that was enough to make the difference. And if I was very careful, I could Command Z and go back to what it was before to figure out which attribute changed. I'm willing to bet it was the package name for relative layout. I think maybe because I specified a very specific package name, that particular package didn't exist in this app.
Sweet.
But anyway, now we should be able to start recording, and this emulator, I think we can pass through the microphone, hoping. Oh, I didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. It's because we also need to set permissions. So to use different hardware capabilities, I have to request permissions in Android. And there are a bunch of permissions. They're all written here. So record audio, write to external storage, and even eventually we'll want to read over the internet.
Well, I think I'm gonna go make some dinner.
Yeah.
But you should think about applying to that job. And when you do, you should let me know.
Oh, definitely. Would you be able to provide me an internal referral? Is that better than not having one?
You should explicitly put my name in whatever the referral box is in the application.
Okay. And that'll help me, you promise, right?
Well,
they're not going to be like, Danny Pham.
This is my roundabout way of finding out if they like me. So.
Yeah, that's right.
If it hurts you, then I know the real status of my bonus coming up. And if they do bring you on, then you'll get my bonus.
Yeah, at Amazon, it was like $3,000 bonus if the employee that you referred stayed for 6 months.
Oh, you also have to stay. I think you show up for 1 day, and then the person would store.
1 work day. Is that big enough?
I think so,
okay.
As far as I know.
La 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 la.
I would. So this might be getting ahead of ourselves, but another thing that I would recommend doing, should you apply to this, is that if you have not already written automated tests in some code base, I would write some automated tests.
Oh, I mean, I have written unit tests. I don't know if they're as like rigorous or fancy as they would expect in professional testing, but I mean, like for example,
that's already good. But you could get even more bonus points if you wrote a like a functional test that, which is a bad phrase, an end-to-end test that included all of your UI-related stuff as well as hit your database or whatever. So like if you're doing like a web app or something, Like if you're doing, I saw somewhere you were working on a Flask app, right?
Yeah. So do they like they want like user interface tests where to see like if you click on this button then this thing happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do a lot of that type of testing, more so than we do unit testing. Not that we don't do unit testing, but that's like already bonus points. The first four, as you saw, the first 4 lines in the job description are about testing, so we take it pretty seriously. So if you can have, if you're able to both show code that you've written that's tested,
Yeah.
and if you're able to talk about testing, that's a huge bonus.
Cool.
I actually get to do some of the phone screens myself.
Yeah.
And if you're mid-level or higher and you haven't written tests, I immediately exclude you from the next round.
Yeah, but if I say like if every other word out of my mouth is test, then you like put me on the fast track.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Even to say words where like test is in it, even though it's not actually the word related to test.
Like I'm feeling very testy today, or
Exactly. Yeah.
Or Lance Armstrong has testicular cancer. You'll be like,
Right.
oh,
Or I find the weather detestable.
Yeah.
That's why I want to work in New York.
It's because it's actually like a machine learning model that's doing the phone screen. They just like they're transcribing it, and they need to like do a simple search to see if the word test appears in the transcript somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, except the model being trained is in this case me.
Yeah.
Not good. But anyways, yeah. Let me know if you do decide to apply.
Yeah, I think it can't hurt to apply to more jobs because the more I apply, the better I get and the better I feel about things.
Sure.
And I know people who apply to like 30 different companies and they get like 2 or 3 or 4 offers. And so that's kind of like a 10% hit rate, like less than a 10% hit rate.
Yeah.
And I haven't applied to jobs for a while, but yeah, no, I mean, it seems like it would be really hard. And I know people who are stressed out about it. So I'm pretty grateful that, you know, I have all these people like you who are like really helpful and are willing to refer me.
Job searching is the worst.
It's, you know, it's intense.
Oh, also, let me send you this other job page. So this is the this is like the parent company. One of the, well, there's different levels. This is a company above me, but there's more above this level. But this will give you more positions to look at, including Android developer.
Oh wow, they have an Android developer job.
That one's in California though, so you'll see some of the other locations in this this page.
Oh, mobile integration engineer. It sounds like it's very testing heavy.
Yeah, I can't really speak to what this part of the company does.
Yeah.
But I can speak more so about what New York and Seattle does.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not against moving to California either. I don't know anyone in San Mateo, but
also San Francisco. Oh, so we own Ebates. And
okay.
Ebates is essentially the San Francisco office.
Ebates.
But there's also another company in the San Francisco office, but I think probably more Ebates than anyone else. Where is it? Where are the jobs? Jobs. Ebates.